chat on board with Monte Carlo Fashions and try and understand what really is happening with winter wear demand then. We have with us Sandeep Jain, the ED at Monte Carlo Fashions, joining in the show right now. Sandeep, hi, good afternoon. Good to have you on the show. It's been chilly winters, at least in the northern parts of the country, but what's happening with sales? Are sales warm enough for you guys?
Yeah, I think the season began very well. If we see last quarter, which just passed by, if we compare with the last quarter, the sale has been exceedingly well. And overall, we have also given the business updates that we have grown almost 35% as compared to last financial year in this year's sales. So the sale for last
Okay, we seem to have snapped that line with Mr. Jain. Just going to get back to him in a second from now. In the meantime, let's take a look at what's happening with the markets because we're holding on to that 18,200 level. While M&M, of course, is your strong point today, as is Bharti. Idea too has made a decent move. Taracom is holding out very well. Hindalco, Reliance Industries, of course, is a very strong show. Metals are making quite a bit of comeback. And then, of course, it's the bigger banks which continue to hold out as well. So ICICI Bank, SBI, Kotak Bank, all are holding up around 1 to 1.5% apiece. I think Mr. Jain is back with us. Sandeep, go ahead. You were telling us about how the demand has been this quarter.
The demand has been very strong last quarter. As I said earlier, also that we grew almost 35% as compared to last financial year in last 9 months. But this quarter is a little dull because of government restrictions on lockdown, and some of the cities have closed some weekends, and some have odd even, and some of these states have imposed restriction on the retail outlets. So that's hurting sales right now.
So does that mean that this is your peak time when you sell the maximum, and because of government restrictions you are not doing or clocking sales as higher as you would have anticipated otherwise?
The peak time is basically the last quarter. This is also a very good sales season period because in January we start our EOSS, that is end of season sales. So in that case, this year sales is a little down because of some restrictions imposed by the government. Particularly, we are facing a lot of issues in Delhi where we have odd even, and also the weekends are, shops are not opening. So Delhi is one state where we are suffering a lot. Otherwise, it is more or less okay in other states.
Hi, this is Anantara Rai joining in from New Delhi, where it is actually legitimately colder than Bombay, which is only at 13 degrees. We are, of course, at 3 degrees, 4 degrees. But what I also wanted to understand is, of course, you would be selling more as there's, climate change. You're seeing cities that are typically not cold get colder. How did you handle the demand also given the various disruptions that are at play? Whether it could be raw material from China or, the freight disruption that is taking place, the cargo disruption which is taking place?
See, as far as our winter wear is concerned, we have not faced any disruptions because we don't import anything from China. And the woolen yarn we procure locally, so it's available. So we don't face any supply or any raw material disruptions. But yes, definitely there are challenges because of freight issues, which is going up as compared to last year. But it's still manageable because that's already being passed upon to the customers.
You have passed it all on to the customer. You also have to get ready for the summer where, sir, and we are seeing cotton prices where we've never seen before at a per caddy, they've doubled almost from last year. So you've passed it all on to the consumer?
Yeah, fortunately, we have a pricing power in our brand. So we increased our price around 18 to 19% in this financial year in summer wear. And those prices have already been absorbed by retailers and customers.
You know, the one also thing that I wanted to talk about with you, Sandeep, was also the textile sector, which is seeing a lot of changes happen right now with the PLI scheme. Even the exports, I'm understanding, would have been encouraging. What's been your take on the overall sector and how the PLI scheme is going to, aid growth going forward?
I think it's a very good scheme which is launched by the government, which is a performance production linked scheme. So we are also participating in these schemes. We have just put up an application for our home furnishing unit where we will make rugs, particularly for exports. I think textile sector is doing very well in India because some disruptions from the Chinese, because of some restrictions by the US, and also there are a lot of freight issues from China to US and other countries. So that's helping Indian textile companies.
Okay, interesting. Let's talk about your business in particular because we understand that you're also looking at foraying into, blankets as well as rugs and home textiles too. Why this diversification?
Blankets we already launched, I think 7 8 years back. It's doing very well, and the reason for that is that there are no branded players available in Indian market right now in case of home furnishing. So that gives a very good advantage to Monte Carlo. And rugs actually we are setting up a subsidiary, wholly owned subsidiary, a new plant which is under PLI scheme. So rugs is also one area we think there's a lot of potential, but this is basically more of exports than domestic in case of rugs. And so otherwise, we have also have the quilts range and bed sheeting range, which we are marketing under Monte Carlo brand, and the sector looks very promising.
Interesting. Okay, Sandeep, great to have you on the show. We'll let you go on that note. Good speaking with you as always.